Alright folks, and during this video tutorial you will learn how to create the XML data from scratch and then save it into the XML file, or you can pass it somewhere else as XML data. And you already know how to work with XML data, how to open it and revise it and work with the particular nodes. If you don't, please watch the previous video tutorial on how to open and work with XML data. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and create one more button, and it's going to create XML data. Okay, let me put it like so. And real quick, let me go ahead and on this button, when I'm loading the XML document, let me go ahead and real quick write an logic where I'm going to pass the parameters from my XML file, which will name the button the open XML file button from the XML files, and then create XML data from the XML files. So I'm going to just go ahead and write the logic for it. And real quick, it's so simple. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to again, you already know what I'm doing over here. I'm just going to pull from XML manager container command one.caption. And as again, sorry if this tutorial will be a little bit too long, because this tutorial also dedicated for the beginners. If you're pro, please skip it. Video, you can always rewind it and watch it. This is the beauty of the videos in 2011. By the way, this video tutorial was recorded with Mouse video capture software that was developed by me, and you can check it out over at mrzmedia.com website, or just Google for it. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to say that it's going to be let me copy it, create XML button and open. So this one is going to be open XML button. Well, real quick, it's not going to take that much time. And then copy this line, and so basically what I'm doing here, I'm pulling the data from the button names from XML data. Pretty simple. And instead of open XML button here, I would like to work with XML create XML node, which has the create XML data value. So I would like to pull that value, create XML data, and for my button I'm going to say second, which is this one, and just go ahead and oops, undo. Let me copy it again, create XML data, and paste it here. Alright, but not the value. I need to copy the node name, so because we're working with the node names. Okay, and let's click save it. So it's a little bit part of the open XML data and work with this, but I gotta do that. Okay, now it's, as you can see, the buttons changed its name from command 1, command 2 to its good names. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, and when we're gonna click on create XML data button, we wanna, right now nothing happens, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna create this document from scratch, just the way it is. So we're not going to load it from the XML file, but we dynamically will be creating with the code this document. So during this video tutorial you will learn how to create this data when the user pressing any buttons or perform any actions. So basically we'll learn how to use Windows programming language and create dynamically XML data using MSXML 6.dll library. Okay, let me show you how to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and click on command 2 button so I can write the logic, and I'm going to say logic to create XML data from scratch. That's what you're gonna learn. during this video tutorial. Okay, so the first thing what I'm gonna do, let me go ahead and XML manager, I need to initialize this guy right here. So instead of typing it to save the time, I'm going to copy it from here. Initialize, because we already did it. So I'm going to initialize it, and then I'm going to say that I'm going to start creating the XML document and basically XML data. So I need to create more variables. I need to create the, let me count how many. I need to create one node, sub node inside of that node, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just let me go ahead and name them, so I'm going to know what declaring XML nodes for XML data, and I'm going to go ahead and declare them, and dim XML, let's say root node as XML DOM node. So basically it's going to be this guy right here, the root node, then application name. So let me go ahead and copy them the way they are, and so I'm going to know what is going on. Dim I just going to keep that one as a root node. I would like to know it's a root node as XML. Let me demonstrate you. You can name it instead of node, like I told you in the previous video. If you watched the previous video, you can still name it as the XML DOM element. It's pretty much the same as the XML DOM node, but there is few differences about it, and we will talk about those differences in the end of this video. Okay, then I'm going to dim this guy right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and dim them all. XML DOM node, which is again is about almost the same XML DOM node as XML DOM element, almost the same. Let me go ahead and declare them all, and I'm not going to waste the time. As you can see, I'm progressing, and I'm going to go ahead and declare some more, so I'm going to pause you during this period so you don't have to waste your time. Okay, so as you can see, I declared them all, so let's go ahead and keep moving. So the next thing, I just pause, so if you it's appears at a quick time, it's fine because I paused the whole deal. So now let's go ahead and click on this button and write the logic that will happen when user will click the button. So I'm going to go ahead and create the root node, which will be this guy right here. So I'm going to say initialize and create the root node. So set and set. That's fine. That's because I didn't finish the syntax logic. set XML root node equal, and then I'm going to say XML manager dot, because over here we already initialized the XML manager, so we can work with our XML manager now, dot, and then I'm going to say create element like so, and specify the name of the element in a string. So in double quotes I'm going to say that I would like to have a visual interface like so. So the name of my root node. Okay, and so basically we just create a name for our node, and now we need to go ahead and put that node somewhere. To put that node somewhere, I'm going to say XML manager dot, using the append child method. Then I need to type the node name that we already set the name for it over here, and here's our name. And let's go ahead, save, and let's go ahead and see what we have. And text equal XML manager. I'm just going to pass that XML what we created as XML to the text box. And we already have have the label 1. So let's call them all XML. I'm not sure why I didn't do it at the first time. Okay, so we're not going to, because they all set in our XML, so we just add the XML to the file name and we know what's going on. Okay, click command to button, and what we have, let me go ahead load the interface. So I'm gonna click create XML document, and what we have only a single node which is closed because it doesn't have nothing, no values, no attributes, nothing. Okay, so perfectly, we just create a single node. So you just learned how to create a single node. Then next, and let's go ahead and create, initialize, and create application name node. So I'm going to say XML, and it's going to be application, because I name my nodes almost the same, so I know it's easy to use the variables. And same thing, I'm going to say set, so initialize XML application name node to XML manager, same thing as we did previously, create element. There's two things you can do. You can use create element method, or you can use create node method. Let me go ahead and start with the create element method. I'm going to explain you what it does, and then we will switch to create node method, because create node method is a little bit advanced. Let's go ahead and start with the basics. Okay, same thing. And now the name of the node, here we go, application name. Okay, so in this line of code we initialize and created the node name, okay, using the create element of our DOM document or XML container. Now we need to specify where we would like to have this node. Let me go ahead and create a mistake so you can learn why. Append child. Let's go ahead and create it in XML manager container where our root node. And I just want to create a mistake and show you so you're not going to create it by yourself. So go ahead, gonna click run, and it should create an error. When I'm gonna create XML data, click on XML data button, and it did. It says the only one top level element is logged in XML document, and it is true. We need to have only one visual interface root node, and only one root node is allowed. So keep this in mind, like I told you in the previous videos when we discussed about the when we talked about the XML basics, XML language and XML formatting and XML documents. XML document or data starts with single root node, and then it has the values inside of that node, attributes and subchild nodes. So keep this in mind. And in our code we said that we would like to, in XML manager, like we did over here when we create the XML root node, we would like to create another one which is application name node, but it will have two nodes now, and it's impossible to have in XML document two root nodes. So we need to make sure that instead of XML manager we're putting this node, which is application node, inside of our visual interface node, like over here. So because the visual interface node is our first node, and by default it's our root node, and only one root node is allowed. So that's why that error was. So I'm just going to go ahead and XML root node and append child inside of that node, subchild, application name node. Let's have a look. No errors, and we got it. So we have visual interface node, and then we have application name node, which is closed because it doesn't have no values or attributes or nodes, subnodes inside of it. And then we have our visual interface root node closed perfectly. Okay, so this is perfect. You got an idea, right? If not, please start this video from the beginning, and I'm just chewing with you every single detail, as you can see, which for the advanced users you can always skip some parts. For the people who have some problems to follow, who's beginner, this is going to be like a gold. Like everything which will be produced by me over at Morose Academy, it will be a nice video tutorials. And also I'm going to be I'm planning to release a big Visual Basic 6 complete video tutorials. Well, this video will be as a part of that series. Alright, so let me go ahead and start it again, and let's go ahead and learn how to format this real quick. You just format the text. You probably already know if you're advanced, but if you're as a beginner you probably don't. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're just going pretty much, we'll load into the text. What we're gonna do, we're just going to say, let me go ahead and do it like so, but just start an array and load it as array. I'm just going to do it pretty simple so you'll understand. And I'm going to say like so, load this, and say VB new line, like so. So the next text one dot text, and let me show it to you what it did. Basically it's formatted our deal, but it's an error over here. Let me go ahead and real quick fix that error. So I'm just going to delete this right here, and actually I'm just going to say over here that, sorry about that, let's don't waste the time and let's move on just to nothing equal to nothing, text one. So it should do it. Nope, it's come on. Okay, I got it now. Okay, what we're gonna do in this video tutorial, so we're going to go ahead and real quick put it in an array. It doesn't work with the text, so we need to put it in an array. So I'm going to real quick create an array and put it in an array. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to say just dim XML line as array. So from 0 to, let's say 1000. Let's say 1000 lines of XML code. That's a huge document. A string. So it's our array, and over here, when we create the first root node, I'm going to say that XML line line 0 equal the XML manager. Sorry about that, but if you're advanced, please go ahead and skip this part. If you're a beginner, this will be a good thing for you to, if you're especially not so advanced with Visual Basic. This is the purpose of the video. You can always skip it. So sorry folks if you already know about it, and this is for those who doesn't know, and I'm trying to be nice and show them how to format the XML document. So we're gonna do like so, and instead of 0 and 1, you can create it an I and put it in for, loop, and it's going to generate it automatically. I'm just going to be not so precise and just show you real quick what's up. So basically, let's go ahead and put a XML node into array, like so, and we want to start over here. Alright, I'm not going to show you how to Sorry about that. This is time wasting. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to show you how to go ahead and do that. I'm just cannot concentrate right now. I'm sorry. There is like 3 a.m. right now, so sorry about that. Let's go ahead and keep going. And yeah, so here's what we have. We have XML, and here we go. Application name, the next. Let me go ahead and create the next thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. So I'm not going to type it, so it's going to save the time. And instead of application name variable, it's going to be open XML button, XML, open XML button, and create. So you got an idea. So create element in XML manager DOM document, or in XML manager, which is our XML container that will store all our XML data. Create element method is creating the name for the node or for the element, which is like a tag, and pretty much the same thing, but has some difference, and I will show you in the end of this video tutorial what's the difference between element and the node. But for this case, element is fine. It's easier to go and less typing. Then I need to specify where I would like to put that node physically, insert it with that name, and it's going to be a root node, like so. And then I'm going to use the append child method, and I need to include that node that I would like to insert inside of that node. And keep in mind that the first node always should be our DOM document or XML container, which is XML manager, because that's how we're creating our root node, the first node. And then inside of that node, like XML language required, we have subnodes and values and attributes. So here we go. And this was the open sorry about that, I paste the wrong deal. Open XML button. So we want to create open XML button, and here I'm going to show you in a comments that this is open XML button. I'm going to create it, copy it, and paste it, and this time it's going to be create XML button. So XML, because I add the XML on front of them, so I know exactly what I'm working with. And here we go. Now let me go ahead and copy it again and paste it. And this time I think it will be what, delete button. I'm just going to put all the nodes, and instead of typing I'm just copying and pasting, so it's saving time. And I forgot here in comments right here, like so. Okay, so gotta copy some more, and paste some more. Change node button, almost getting there. So what I do is, again, I'm just creating the nodes. As you saw already, if you will just rewind the video, that's how we're creating the nodes with those 2 lines of code. First we're specifying the node name, which is this line of code. We're using the create element method, and then using the append child method, exactly where we would like to put that node, specifying the node that we would like to put. Okay, and this is going to be a label 1, label 1, and inside of the label 1 we would like to put 2 sub nodes, and it's again pretty simple. Let me copy them. Font color first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say font color here as font color. So name the, sorry about the variable, should be XML as the font color name, right? And then over here, instead of XML root node, I don't want to put it in a root over here like everybody else. I want to put inside of the label node, which is subchild of the root visual interface. So instead of root node, I want to say that XML label 1, because it's already created. So Visual Basic knows, or the MSXML 6.dll knows that it's already created, so we can use it. So inside of the XML label 1, I would like to put the font color as a subchild. So I think that's pretty much makes sense. Let's have a look where we at. So okay, we did a little bit of over here mistake. XML should be variable XO, object required, and here also XML, and here also XML. I'm just, you need to put not the name of the node, but the variable that you're setting that name. And I have the common mistake for all of them, right? Yeah, okay. And here should be XML as well. Okay, just like that. So you can see we just created our XML, and that's what we did. We put inside of the label subchild, that subchild of visual interface root node, we put the subchild. So inside of that label subchild, we put another subchild inside of it, subchild, font color. Now we're going to put text, a node, and we're going to put font color. We're gonna fill up with the value, and text node we're gonna fill up with the value too. Basically we're going to fill up them all with the value, and I'm going to teach you how to set the value for the nodes. So, but before, let me go ahead and real quick create the text like so, and going to be text. Here it's going to be text, and it's going to be text. Okay, let's have a look. Perfect. We have all our nodes, but we don't have any values inside of those nodes. Let's go ahead and learn how to set the values inside of the nodes. Let's start with the application name, and which has simple XML manager by Alexander Morose value. Inside of the application node, we have value simple XML manager by Alexander Morose. So what we're gonna do, let me go ahead and close the debug, stop it. Okay, and it's pretty simple. Here's the application name. It's so simple that you'll like it. I'm going to say XML application name dot text, basically setting the text equal, and in dual quotes what text I would like to set. Let's have a look. Here we go. Our application name node has value now, simple XML manager by Alexander Morose. Okay, so you just learned how to set the values for the basic nodes. Let me go ahead and set the values for them all. So let me stop the debugging, and of course I need to a little bit copy and paste, so I'm just copying and pasting to save the time. Keep in mind, sorry, this video is going to be so long because I want to make everybody happy and beginners as well. And you know, as we know, all of us was beginner someday, so I care about the beginners as well too. So guys, please don't be pissed so much. You know, beginners needs to have some time as well to learn. So this is what Morse Academy is about. It's where you will learn the IT, like programming, graphic design, photography, web developing, from the scratch. Okay, I was talking and I did some mistakes here. So create button, okay, the next delete button, like so. As you can see, I'm using the basic syntax so everybody can understand. I'm not using too much complex. Of course you can make it complex and make it so nice. That's what I'm not going to do today, because it's also required some time. Okay, and here we go, the last one. Let me go ahead and run it and see where we at. Okay, we set that the same text, as you can see, for every single node except the root node. Every single one after that has the simple text, simple manager. Let me real quick copy it, and you can put whatever text you feel so. So in a explanation, I gotta put it here. Font color, so you'll know. I forgot. Okay, save it, and the next after application will be this guy. Open XML button, then will be create XML data. Okay, so let me go ahead and pause, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this up, so I'm not going to waste your time. Okay, so here we go. I just fill this up, as you can see, completely with the text equal to here. It's not necessary should be equal. You can write whatever you want. You're just creating from scratch. Let's have a look at our XML data. It's not formatted, but it's still XML document and data, and it's as you can see, it's in perfect. We just recreate it. You can put any different values, and it's just going to store it. You can create more nodes, more sub nodes, etc. Okay, let me show you how over here font color, how to make it with that add symbols before the H letter, how to make the add symbols, so we can set this color using the CDATA and to our red, to our label over here, without basically hard-coded, just to read it. As you remember, we hard-coded in our open XML over here, where we hard-coded the symbols add before the text. Let me go ahead and show you how to load it without the hard coding, just to load plain simple data. Okay, so for this we're going to use the CDATA, and basically you can do any other symbols. You can do symbols like add, like this, like that, like any symbols. Okay, and how to do so? Well, basically you will learn how to use the CDATA, which is very useful. You can create and read the CDATA using MSXML6.dll. And first of all, you need to find the node that you would like to put that CDATA, and it's going to be our font color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete the color text from this node, and I'm going to write next dim and XML C data as IXML IXML DOM CDATA section. Gonna select that, and then I'm going to declaring a variable. You can declare it here, or you can declare it on the top like we did before over here. It doesn't matter in this case, because we're working currently with the data just at this moment and at this location, and declare a variable for CDATA, so we can pass any symbols such as this, that, this, that, etc. Okay, so I just declared that, and now I'm going to initialize the CDATA variable, and set it with a value. So I'm going to XML CDATA dot and it's going to be a text. I'm going to say what text I want to do. Let's say I'm writing the, okay, no, I'm not writing for the ActionScript 3.0. I'm writing from my Visual Basic, so it's even better. I'm going to go ahead and put that color to red, and the values will be, let me find that. Okay, the values will be like so. I'm going to copy from my XML file. Okay, let me scroll it down. Here we go. The values will be like so. Let's save it and open. I'm going to delete this at hard-coded symbol. Let's have a look what we have. First, I'm going to create okay. We gotta say set because we're initializing, and now the text. We don't want to say text. We want to actually say that we're creating. It should be done differently. It should be done like so. Equal XML manager dot create CDATA section, and then it asks us to put it as a string, and that's what we're gonna do. Put it as a string like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and save the XML manager. So you're going to learn how to save it into the file. I'm going to say that save XML manager or XML data container or DOM document into a file, into an XML file. So I'm going to say that XML manager, so we want to save it so we can read it, or we can pass the values. Manager, but let me teach you how to save it first. Manager dot save, pretty simple, using the